Today I want to share a story that's anything but ordinary. It's a tale from my own life, and I know it might stir up different opinions. Some of you may criticize me while others might understand and agree with my choices, but I believe that no one can extinguish the fire that burns in my heart. I've learned something important along the way, and I hope that by sharing my journey you can learn from it too. Every moment of this experience has shaped who I am today, and I want you to feel the passion and lessons that have come from it. So gather around and let me take you on this exciting adventure. 8 years of marriage shattered in one quick breath when my husband Mike brought home his pregnant sidekick and kicked Emmy out of the house. I packed all right, but what I unpacked was a revenge plot so brilliant and karmic. 8 years. Approximately 2,922 days, around 70,128 hours. Every single second, my heart kept harping on just one name, Mikey, my husband. I thought he loved me with the same intensity. Ouch, how wrong I was. I'm Michelle, a faithful wife who loved her husband like crazy, until that fateful evening when my world turned upside down and inside out. It was a Tuesday evening when my life decided to go off the rails. I walked into our living room, tired from a long day at work, only to find a heavily pregnant woman sitting on our couch, eating chips. At first I thought maybe I'd accidentally wandered into the wrong house. But no, there was our ugly floral wallpaper that Mike insisted on keeping, and there was Mike, looking like he'd just swallowed a porcupine. "Hey, Michelle," he said, his voice as casual as if he was asking me to pass the salt. "We need to talk." I stood there frozen, my brain trying to compute the scene before me. The pregnant woman smiled awkwardly, her hand on her belly, looking like she was auditioning for a soap opera. "This is Jessica," Mike continued, gesturing to the human incubator on our couch. "She's pregnant. With my child. It just happened, and we've decided to be together." I waited for the punchline. Surely, this was some elaborate prank for a new reality TV show. Maybe I'd win a car if I didn't freak out. But Mike's face remained serious, and Jessica kept smiling that infuriating smile. "Mike," I said slowly, "what do you mean by it just happened? Did you trip and fall into her?" Mike had the audacity to look offended. "Enough, Michelle. This is serious. I think it's best if you move out. You can go stay with your mom. Jess and I'll take over the house." I blinked. Once, twice, 3 times. Nope, still not a dream. I was half expecting Ashton Kutcher to jump out and tell me I'd been punked, but alas, no Ashton. Just my cheating husband and his very pregnant sidekick. "All right," I calmly said. "I'll pack my things and leave." Mike looked relieved, probably thinking he'd gotten off easy. Jessica's smile grew wider, like she'd just won the lottery. Little did they know the lottery was about to hit them back, and hit them hard. I went upstairs, packed a suitcase with some essentials, and left without another word. As I drove to my mom's house, the shock wore off, and rage took its place. But this wasn't just any rage. This was the kind of rage that makes you want to do something spectacularly stupid and incredibly satisfying. The next day, I set my plan in motion. First stop, the bank. I marched in there like a woman on a mission, which I was. I froze our joint account faster than you can say cheating jerk. The look on the bank manager's face when I explained why was priceless. I'm pretty sure he was mentally taking notes for his next novel. Next, I visited a locksmith. I remembered overhearing Mike tell Jessica they'd be gone for 3 days, giving me plenty of time to execute my master plan. It was like the universe was conspiring in my favor, and who was I to argue with destiny? My next stop, my house. The same cozy house Mike and I once lived together, planning a future that was now a total train wreck. The puzzled locksmith probably thought I was crazy, cackling as I had him change all the locks on the house. I may have gone a bit overboard and asked for the most complicated, high-tech locks available. Hey, if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right. And big. Then came the movers. I gave them the spare keys and scheduled them to pack up everything I owned, which was basically everything in the house. I even took the toilet paper. Let's see how Mike and Jessica enjoy using leaves. But the piece de resistance. Oh, that was yet to come. I had a brilliant idea that would make this revenge not just sweet but long-lasting. I sent out party invitations, lots of them, to Mike's family, our friends, his coworkers, even that nosy neighbor who always complained about our late dog. The invitation read, "Come celebrate Mike's new life. Surprise party at our house, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Then I commissioned a billboard. Yes, a billboard, a huge one. It was delivered and set up on our front lawn, impossible to miss. In giant, bold letters, it proclaimed, "Congratulations on dumping Maine for your pregnant mistress, Mike. Hope the baby doesn't inherit your infidelity." I stepped back to admire my handiwork, feeling like a mischievous fairy godmother who'd just granted the world's most ironic wish. With a satisfied smirk and a dramatic hair flip, I sashayed away from the scene, eagerly anticipating the chaos that was about to unfold. The next evening, right on cue, my phone rang. It was Mike, and he sounded like he was having an aneurysm. "Michelle," he screeched, his voice hitting octaves I didn't know he could reach. "What the hell is going on? Why are there people at our house? And what's with this insane billboard?" "Oh, that," I said, trying to sound innocent. "Just a little housewarming party for you and Jessica. Don't you like the decorations?" "Decorations? It's a freaking circus out here, and why can't I get into the house?" I couldn't help but giggle. "Well, honey, you told me to move out, remember? You never said anything about you staying there." I just remembered that the house is solely under my name, so I changed the locks. Oopsie. There was a long silence on the other end. I could almost hear the gears in his tiny brain, trying to process what was happening. "Where are we supposed to go?" he finally sputtered. "Gee, I don't know. Mike, maybe Jessica's mom would love to have you. I hear pregnancy hormones and in-laws mix really well." I hung up, feeling lighter than I had in years. But wait, there was more. In the days that followed, I had the utilities cut off, canceled the cable, and made sure all our joint assets were transferred into my name. I listed the house for sale, making sure to mention in the listing that it came with a bonus front lawn art installation. I had Mike served with divorce papers at work. I specifically requested the mailman to dress up as a pregnant woman, just for funsies. But the universe wasn't done with Mike yet. Oh no, it had saved the best for last. A week later, I got a call from Jessica. Yes, that Jessica. She was crying so hard I could barely understand her. "Michelle," she sobbed, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I mean, Mike told me you two were separated, and now he's broken homeless and I'm pregnant, and I don't know what to do." I almost felt bad for her. Almost. "Well, Jessica," I said, trying to keep the glee out of my voice, "I hear the circus is always looking for new acts. Maybe you two could start a juggling duo? You juggle the baby, he juggles his lies." She didn't appreciate my humor. Skek. As it turns out, when Jessica found out that Mike was now homeless, broke, and the laughingstock of the town, she decided that maybe being with a guy who had no money, no house, and no future wasn't such a great idea after all. She dumped him faster than you can say, "Karma's a bee." Last I heard, Mike was living in a tiny apartment, trying to scrape together enough money to pay bills and feed his hungry belly. His family had cut him off, disgusted by his behavior. They even sent me a fruit basket and a sorry card. I ate the fruits while soaking in my new jacuzzi. As for me, well, the house sold for a nice profit. I moved to a beautiful new place, started my own business, and adopted a cat. I named him Karma. So yeah, my revenge might have been a bit over the top, but let's be real. Bringing home a pregnant mistress and trying to kick me out of my own house, that's not just crossing a line, that's pole vaulting over it and then setting the pole on fire. In the end, I learned a valuable lesson. When life gives you lemons, don't just make lemonade. Squeeze those lemons into the eyes of those who wronged you, and then sit back and watch them stumble around blindly. It's much more satisfying. And remember, folks, cheaters never prosper, but the cheated on with a good sense of humor and a flair for the dramatic, oh, we do just fine.